Good morning, beloveds. So, I've already had kind of a busy morning. I went to the chiropractor today, and I made the appointment last week, and so I was looking forward to it. But I also started both my prescriptions. So I started one on Saturday, and then I started the other one yesterday. Now, the one for Sjogren's, I haven't seen any difference. And they said it can take a week to 2 weeks before you notice anything. So, okay, fine. I'm going to give that time. I've got that one managed enough. The other one is a pretty powerful anti-inflammatory. And I noticed a difference the first day. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I was just like, why did I wait so long? Now, hopefully I won't be on it for long. If I can get the inflammation under control, then, but, oh, why did I wait so long? One of the best things about being in Science of Mind is that, we are, yes, we do treatment, but sometimes the answer to treatment is going to the doctor and getting a prescription. Because you take the pill and until you don't need the pill anymore, and if you need the pill for the rest of your life, then that's okay too. So here I am. And yeah, I also went to see Thor: Love and Thunder yesterday. It was incredibly silly and heartfelt at the same time. Yeah. All right. So it is July 12th. Our title is God Says Yes to Me. Our first quote is, "For the Lord searcheth all hearts and understandeth all the imaginations of the thoughts." And that is 1 Chronicles 28:9. The second quote is, "We are one with unmanifest substance, whose business it is to take form, and we are one with the law, which gives form." And that is the Science of Mind text, page 195. Okay. So the Science of Mind teaching presents us with the wonderful concept of a totally responsive God, a God who will create for us anything we want. There's a wrinkle here, though. Whatever we want, we had better be willing to pay for it in time, energy, and awareness. According to Ernest Holmes, there is a universal law of mind, which, through its impersonal creativity, fashions for us the physical world in which we fashion in our minds. The dedicated, disciplined spiritual thinkers can have a field day with such creativity. Such a person can choose what he or she wants to experience, what they want to experience, to dissolve all contrary mental or emotional patterns, turn the idea over to the universal mind, and allow the results to take place. This seems almost too good to believe, doesn't it? But it's true. Since we already create according to this principle, doesn't it make sense to learn how to use this power wisely? With discipline and dedication. God says yes to us. Therefore, let us make certain that the results we obtain are consciously chosen. Infinite mind inspires me. Infinite power expresses through me. Infinite life heals me and presents me as a true spiritual being. I am aware that all life conspires to fulfill me, and I am filled full of the true virtues of goodness, joy, love, peace, compassion, and beauty. All of my needs are met, and I lack for nothing, for I use the law wisely through harmonious, orderly thinking. I am continuously creative, and I love what I create. God says yes to me. And that is MS, which is Margaret Stortz. And she is definitely a powerful writer. And I'm being distracted by toe beans on the cat. So, there are a couple of phrases in here that I really want to highlight. One, there's a wrinkle here, though. Not that one, but the one that follows it. Whatever we want, we'd better be willing to pay for it in time, energy, and awareness. All right? When we go to God to create something, God is going to create that, but God is going to create it through us. Are we going to take all of the, physical? No. What we will do is we will engage with other people, and then the work will be spread out, but it's still our genesis. It is still up to us to go and do. What we do is we present the thing to God and say, this is what I want. And then God says, okay. And then God, or as she said, God says yes. The law says yes. And then Spirit says, and this is how you're going to get it. These are the steps that you need to take, which is why we say treat and move your feet. It means that we will be given the guidance and the resources to create what it is that we are seeking. It doesn't mean we get to sit back and wait. Now, there is some of that sometimes because things take time. Things are constantly moving into form and out of form. And so, and that takes time because in this form, we are spiritual beings, but since we are currently bound in mortal, forms, that takes time. It takes time for things to come into form, just as it takes time for things to go out. So when we're in that period of chaos, as old paradigms and things are moving out while new things are being formed and created, it looks a little messy. But we can't give up hope, and we must continue to listen. We must continue to listen. Once we and to take the steps that will bring into fruition that new paradigm, that new world, that new experience, whatever it is that we're working on, that new form that we're working on. And it can be literally material things, or like I said, I keep using the word paradigm. If we are trying to shift the way the world is working, if we're trying to shift the consciousness of the world, it's like, hey, this is the way it's been working. Well, it doesn't have to work that way. It can work another way. We just have to stay on it. And that's what she means by being willing to pay for it in time, energy, and awareness. So, and then the other phrase that really is that very last line, therefore, let us make certain the results we obtain are consciously chosen. Because frequently we are being creative, because what do we call creativity? It's thought wrapped in feeling. We are being creative unconsciously, and we are doing it with things we don't want. It's like, as soon as we get angry, and because it's a good example, as soon as we get angry, where do we channel that anger? Where do we direct that anger? Because anger is a powerful emotion. It is a powerful emotion. And we can absolutely use it to fuel the change that we want to see in the world. But frequently, that's not what we do. Frequently, we direct it at what we are angry at or about. And then the universe goes, you want more of that. And so what we are resisting persists because our anger, our power is directed at that. We are unconsciously choosing this. So notice that the anger is not the problem. It's what we're directing it at. It is what we are directing at. We can absolutely use anger to fuel change. But in that case, yes, this is what I'm angry about. But let me turn my anger this way and use it as fuel to change. So let me work on the solution, not the problem. Yes, I'm angry that this is happening, but I'm going to use that power to create the solution to what I'm angry about, rather than creating more of what I'm angry about. It's just one of those, occasionally I have awkward conversations that I'm just like, I'm not going to remind you that I'm a minister and I actually fall on the other side because, I do look at the greater good. I do look at the greater good. And we were having that awkward conversation today and I was just like, yeah, well, you're sitting here telling me it's this way. And I'm going, no. Because I see the way that your way is working or not. And I'm like, there's a better way. There is a better way, and we can do it this way. So go ahead and focus your energy that way. I'm going to focus this way. For starters, this is getting me towards my solution. And two, I feel a whole lot better. It's like my anger has a useful outlet. It is not eating me up from the inside. So I am consciously choosing how I am using my creative power. And you can do that with any emotion. We have all these positive emotions, happy, creative, what emotions. And then we have what we call the negative emotions, but they're not negative. We just don't prefer them. I don't want to be angry all the time. It does terrible things to my body when I'm angry all the time. But when I'm angry, that's a powerful fuel source that I can use to focus on the solution. Same with sadness. It can be used to fuel amazing things. Look at any artist who has used their sadness to illustrate it. And sometimes what they do is they tell the world, hey, this is what's going on. It's not okay. And sometimes they say, hey, this is the way I feel. I don't want to feel this way anymore. Let me get it out. And they create arguably beautiful, if haunting, things. So, and that can be music, and that can be painting, and all of those fantastic things. They can tell you stories, and and they're heartfelt, and it makes you go, all right, choose love. So, God says yes to me. For the Lord searcheth all the heart, and understandeth all the imagination of thoughts. There's nothing we can hide from God. We should just stop trying. That's what I hear in Chronicles, 1 Chronicles 28:9. And then from the Science of Mind 195, we are one with unmanifest substance whose business is to take form. God is constantly coming into form in a variety of ways. And we are one with the law, which gives form. So the law is what directs the substance into a particular form. It behooves us to know the law and use it wisely. And I like that she says, use it wisely, not right. Is there a right way to use it? Maybe. There is definitely a wise way to use it. So, the Science of Mind teaching presents us with the wonderful concept of a totally responsive God. A God who will create for us anything we want. There's a wrinkle here, though. Whatever we want, we had better be willing to pay for it in time, energy, and awareness. Yes, God wants us to be happy. But we're part of the creative process. We are engaged. And when we engage, we get what we want. When we are only half engaged or not engaged at all, then what happens? Sometimes nothing. Sometimes the opposite of what we actually want. According to Ernest Holmes, there's a universal law of mind, which, through its impersonal creativity, and it's impersonal because it doesn't judge, it never says, I don't think that's a good idea for you. It just does. Creatively fashions for us the physical world in which we fashion in our minds. The world you live in your head is the world around you. Does it make you happy? And if it doesn't, the first place to start the work is in your head and your heart. The dedicated, disciplined spiritual thinker can have a field day with such creativity. The dedicated, disciplined spiritual thinker. That's what spiritual practice is about. It is. It is to create that dedicated, disciplined spiritual thinker, which is why we advocate doing it every day. There's never a day, like I advocate taking a day off from physical activity, 1 or 2 days, but never do I advocate taking a day off from spiritual practice. Every day is spiritual practice. You can do a variety of different spiritual practices. You can have a different one for every day. But the spiritual work happens every day. Such a person can choose what they want to experience, dissolve all contrary mental or emotional patterns, turn the idea over to the universal mind, and allow the results to take place. Because that's part of it too. It's like, okay, we're going to do all of this work, and then we're going to go, but I'm not worthy of it, so I can't have it. We have to allow it to take place as well. We have to be willing to accept it. Big part of that. If you like living in chaos, That would explain some things. This seems almost too good to believe, doesn't it? But it's true, since we already create according to this principle, which we do all the time. Doesn't it make sense to learn how to use this power wisely? And that was the purpose of Ernest Holmes. He's like, look, this is the way it works. Let me show you how it works so that you can do it better. Let me explain to you the mechanism. And then you will do better. You know, he never set out to create his own religion. He went, this is how it's working. This is what I see how it's working. This is what all of the sacred literature that I am reading says. This is how it works. We can do better. Let me show you how. And then you go create your world. With discipline and dedication. With discipline and dedication. God says yes to us. Therefore, let us make certain that the results we obtain are consciously chosen. And then she's got the beautiful treatment. Infinite mind inspires me. Infinite power expresses through me. Infinite life heals me and presents me as a true spiritual being. I am aware that all life conspires to fulfill me, and I am filled full of the true virtues of goodness, joy, love, peace, compassion, and beauty. All of my needs are met, and I lack for nothing, for I use the law wisely through harmonious, orderly thinking. Harmonious, orderly thinking. It bears repeating. I am continuously creative, and I love what I create. God says yes to me. All right, Margaret. That was fantastic. So your mission today, should you choose to accept it, should we choose to accept the mission today, is to make sure our results are consciously chosen. If you didn't see that one coming, then you haven't been paying attention. Consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. When we consciously choose, we get the results we actually want. When we unconsciously choose, we get what we get. So the mission is to consciously choose. All right? Practice, practice, practice. And one of the spiritual practices, which is the one I suggest every day, and I encourage you to do multiple spiritual practices throughout your day. And one of them is to do something loving, something kind, something compassionate for yourself. It can be one thing. It can be 3 things. It can be an entire day of things. You know, hey, practice on yourself. Because you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. You are a beloved child of God. You deserve it. It's also, when you practice upon yourself, generally we're harder on ourselves than we are on anybody else. So that's another reason why I encourage you to practice on yourself. All right? Okay. So that is, and you know all the things that I normally suggest. 3 deep breaths before you speak, take a walk, take a nap, take a day off. Actually engage all 5 of your senses and enjoy something. Go see an amazing movie and then have an amazing discussion with the people that you went to see the movie about. That's another one. I like that one. Okay. So there's that. The other things, same ones. Engage your mind. Do something to engage your mind and your body. Take a, drink plenty of water. We're still under a heat advisory, so definitely drink plenty of water. And then bright light early in your day. Reset your circadian rhythms. Big believer. Love science. And open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around you all the time. It is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. And it is a power that allows you to create heaven in any place. And we all need that. We all need that. Because there are times when heaven seems a little far away. And when I walk into the space of somebody who knows where heaven is and can consciously create it around themselves, I can take that deep breath and do it myself. You got those people in your life. You do. All right. I have faith. I have faith. So, the cat's holding my hand. It's kind of funny. Or my finger anyway. All right, beloveds. Catch us on the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, depending. I am the running Rev Ryan on the ones that I am on. I encourage you to, if you want to know what's going on at the center, email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact and into those, where all those hot links are. And the hot links are hot. So, yeah, that's how you get in touch with us. And I will also tell you that, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I should be back with you at 9 a.m.-ish. I say ish because David varies. Like, I'm usually 15 or 20 minutes, but yeah, I've seen him hours. But so around, keep checking. Or click the notifications. If you click that little bell for the notifications, anytime one or anybody goes live on our page, Facebook will notify you. So, all right. That's the good that I know. So I'm going to tell you to have a great day, an amazing day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, an amazing day, an enchanting day, a magical day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day, because you are enough, just as you are. As I remind you every day, and will continue to remind you every day, you are a beloved child of God. All right, beloveds, know that you're loved, and I will see you next time.